Passion and purpose together makes you a passion-preneur. Siji Varghese, director at ROI Institute India, is a highly committed and a positive person with a beautiful smile. Siji is a facilitator, keynote speaker, coach, and a corporate leader. So, बहुत-बहुत स्वागत है Siji.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Siji, please talk us through brand Siji Varghese and what inspired your journey as the founder of ROI.
I guess brand Siji is nothing but a person who is vulnerable and believes that in vulnerability lies her strength. And the journey has been quite smooth and tough at times too. So I would just say that I started my journey in a very comfortable space and then moved on, getting after college into job, into workspace, and then would start the next phase of my life, which would be like marriage, which would be like managing job, work, and home, and kids, and family, extended families, and stuff like that. So this was my journey for close to almost a decade and a half, where I was working with a pharma company first, then moved on into the banking and the insurance space. And basically, while I was banking, I was heading the branch for bank, and then I was handling multiple branches when I was in insurance. So that has been my journey for the decade and a half that I was in the corporate space. Post which, primarily because I was feeling that there was less time that I was giving to the kids, I wanted to do something on my own wherein I could integrate my work life in such a way that I was able to balance that to a great extent. Because burning out at 14 to 15 hours every day, every single day in the corporate space was taking a toll on me. And that led me into thinking as to what next, because I was never an entrepreneur, and coming from a typical South Indian conservative family where it's all about academics, education, and about salaries at the end of the day. To move from that space into entrepreneurship was a big, big task. And convincing people around and not knowing what is that I'm going to have a capital intensive business all about. And then moving on to do something which is more intellect intensive. And that's how training happened. Was never a trainer before, but training happened, and I wouldn't know what exactly to start with. But yes, we formed our enterprise, and dire dire, it was like as if you could come to terms with what's happening. First few 3 years, I should say, it was as good as I done nothing at all in terms of earning some good money. But yes, I learned a lot, because that's when you fail miserably and you go back to the drawing board, recreate your blueprint, recreate whatever you want to do, and then again start with everything. So it's like basically the first 3 years were just a learning ground, and a lot of turmoils back at work and home too, because at home also, your lifestyle is threatened because what was coming in, suddenly nothing comes in from your end, and so much more. Yes, there was satisfaction of wanting to create something on your own, and also satisfaction of spending more time with the kids. Howsoever, as we proceed in our entrepreneurship journey, it sometimes you say that you work for 14 hours, but as an entrepreneur, you work 24/7. So it's like changing a total paradigm shift. But the best part of it was you're doing what you love to do. So it's your ikigai space, it's your more passion space, and you really don't feel that you're working because you're passionate about it. So the brand Siji is nothing but showcasing that in vulnerability is a lot of strength, and it's absolutely perfect to fail, because in your failures you know how important success is for you, and also having an attitude of gratitude. So I would say that's me. And way back in 2017, when I first met Dr. Jack Phillips in Mumbai, that's when it came into my mind that I should be doing an ROI. And he actually said that you do have the right kind of prerequisites for being an ROI professional, a certified ROI professional, because you're an MBA in finance, you've been working in banks and in insurance. So you have something which can get there. So there started my association, and eventually in 2018, I went ahead, had 2 months of my life in US, in Alabama and Orlando, got into the consultative space, as well as in doing my ROI certification with Dr. Jack Phillips himself. And that's where the journey of ROI started. That's how ROI Institute of US had a space in India as well. So that's where my ROI journey started from.
Now, this is totally wonderful. And when you talk to different kind of people, I think the work they're doing is totally amazing. That is what Siji Varghese is all about. Beautiful work. Siji, what are the different kind of training programs and workshops you are offering?
Basically, as I said, I am a microbiologist and a biotechnologist with an MBA in finance. So when it came to first thinking as to what good am I in training, I started with the insurance sector. That's the Life Insurance Corporation of India, the LIC. And that's where I started getting into a non-technical space, into having more behavioral aspects. So that's me starting with the behavioral perspective, the entrepreneurial perspective, and a lot of soft skills that I train into. So I am certified as a master practitioner NLP. I'm also a gestalt therapist. I'm also an ICF certified coach, and I'm a life and a master spirit coach. So there's multiple things that has happened over the period of time, and behavioral skills, soft skills, as you say, has been something that I've been always working on. So anything from the crucial conversations to business excellence to business communication to conflict to negotiations to working on empathy, on personal branding. These are some of the workshops that typically I offer, and that's the major chunk of it.
A lot of good work from uh, starting, restarting again, and then reaching to a point. I think this is totally wonderful. Siji, as a behavioral change consultant, what is your flagship program? Rather, what are your flagship
So
programs?
one of the flagship programs that I'm really, really passionate about is the Leaders in Lipstick. And this is a very boutique offering that we are catering typically to the millennials and the Gen Z women corporate leaders, and also the business women leaders too. Now, why leaders in lipstick? Because I have been through the corporate space. I have been playing multiple roles of integrating work and home, and also got into the entrepreneurial space. So I know when I come across, I mean, having done 800 workshops and almost 45,000 participants in the last 10 years, I had the access to deal with a lot many women, and I kind of came to know that all of us have the same kinds of issues that we struggle with, and most of the times, knowingly unknowingly, you tend to become a source of inspiration for them for what you bring to the table. And I said, why not let it make into a nice little journey, an immersive experiential journey for the women, because there are so many things that we feel there are self-limiting beliefs, and we can expose that self-limiting beliefs and ensure that we translate that into limitless possibilities for each and everyone that we connect with. So Leaders in Lipstick happened with the space thinking that, oh, like we have a representation of 25% women in the mid management, but when it comes to the senior management, there is just 4%. Now there's a sharp decline of 21%. So we are thinking like, where is all the senior women gone? So Leaders in Lipstick is basically a smaller endeavor to get that 4% up by much more, let's say another 12 to 14% eventually, so that we have more senior women at the senior level positions.
It sounds really interesting. Leaders and lipstick. I think this is totally beautiful, Siji. So there are many trainers and coaches in the market. Why will people come to Siji Varghese? Let's hear that.
So we believe that we work at the core, absolutely no flab, right? So when you work at the core with no flap, obviously the results that comes out is amazing. And we are not talking about standalone training programs, but we are talking about immersive experiential learning journeys, which means we don't leave you with just a day or 2 or 3 day workshops, but we take you through a journey for 6 months, 9 months. And it's a total engagement where we are your learning partners for that entire journey, so that by the time we are finished with that journey, you are having a massive shift, a massive paradigm shift. And so when I say, when we deal with the behavior, with the core, at the core, it definitely makes a lot of difference. And that's the basic value add that we bring as our brand out here.
And we totally believe what she's telling us. I think this is wonderful. Siji, what is the success mantra? And do let us know about your achievements and awards. Over to
I
you.
guess being authentic is a very important trait. So if you're authentic, you land up with everything that helps you to move ahead in life. So the basic rawness that you bring in and your authenticity, I think that's the first thing that helped me to get my TEDx the very first time in 2017. And a TEDx happened to me once again in 2021. So what I really believe is that when you're authentic, when you're the real you don't have those pretensions of being perfect all the time, because you're absolutely imperfectly perfect or perfectly imperfect. It's like and when you actually think that you want to aspire someone before you aspire to inspire others before you expire, as they rightly say, तो वो वाली चीज है ना बहुत important रखता है, it's मायने रखता है. So I guess these are some of the things that is really taking us a notch above, और वो cutting edge देता है जो हमारे लिए काफी important है. So, as I said, the success mantra is being authentic. And awards and accolades, I think the best that I've had was the United Nations Karmavir Chakra Award, which I got basically for the kind of work that I do with the underprivileged women, and helping them to kind of do a lot many things than what they are thinking that they can do. So basically moving their self-limiting beliefs, right? And so that's one. And second was the Rising Women's Award from the International Women Excellence Empowerment Award. So that was my another award, and multiple, many awards over the period of time, which I would say these are all some of the things that you gain as you are recognized by the bodies around you.
And totally well deserved the way she is telling us. I think this is so enterprising. Siji, so now what are the future plans? Where are you going from here?
I kind of feel the future is amazing, primarily because I'm very keen, enthused, and very passionate about the very fact that we are working with women leaders, and we are going to be a part of their journey when they're going to make it to the senior positions, and create a total new history for the country, for the economy, for the global presence, because we're going to empower them with all those things which they already have, but just to showcase that they have it with them, and how we can ensure that how we can integrate a lot of things with our work and our life, and make it to the top no matter what, and get there, do that, and have more representation of women out there. And so my future plans are to have more empowered women in the corporate space, have most of the senior women represent in the senior positions, have a global reach of the Indian women across. We're already there, but more and more, even this the lowest bit of what we can. I think I'm like pretty excited because it looks the opportunities or the options that's available is amazing. The potential that I can see is amazing. I see so many people want to partner with leaders in lipstick because they can see they can see a lot of value coming out of it. It could be in the form of using a platform, it could be to drive diversity and inclusion, it could be to attract the right kind of women talent, it could be to promote and retain and engage those women leaders for higher positions. So there's massive potential, and we can seriously feel that we could change the entire diversity and inclusivity of any organization for that matter.
Lastly, we would want to tell everyone, Siji is a travel freak, hardcore foodie, and a loving mother, which I think completes her journey as a great human being. आपका बहुत बहुत thanks है Siji कि आप आए.
Thank you so much once again.